it's Optimal Nate, and today I present to you Star Trek Starships Collection, issue number 6, featuring the Shrike from Star Trek Picard Season 3. So, this is the newest issue. I am impressed with this ship. I loved it in the show. It was the main villain's ship for a good part of the season, and if you hang tight, we'll open this up in a few moments and we'll go through it together. Hello, we are back. So, we're going to go through this box and check out the artwork real quick. The front has a really nice image of the ship in its side view there, where you get a good glimpse of all the details, including the brace that holds it on your stand once it's put on. Nice little Star Trek logo there. Tells you it's the Shrike from Star Trek Picard, produced by Fan Home. And on the sidebar there, you get a nice view of it flying through, like they do on all the boxes with the previous issues we've got. Okay, Fan Home logo, another logo, and this is the other side. Nice little LEDs you can see there, your tail lights. Sure, I also do Hot Wheels, so that's probably why that snuck out. But you get a nice glimpse of the work nacelle engines in the back end there. Okay. The bottom is just some more printed stuff with the website logo on the top there. Okay, let's open it up. Okay, now, as with all your other issues, you get a magazine with it. Okay, tells you it's a Shrike there, and we'll open it up and just go briefly through the contents. You got a table of contents. You have another view of the ship from the front. Tells you the length at 659 meters. Vatic is the commander. Special weaponry, quantum tunneling portal. Love that weapon in the show, by the way. And it has impulse and warp propulsion. There's some more artwork of the ship. The Shrike was a vast and heavily armed ship that was operated by Vatic. I believe the ship lasted up until almost the end of the season, if I'm not mistaken. But here's some nice artwork concepts. These would be your final designs that they use for the ship in the show. Okay, very nice views. Here's some earlier designs. Now, according to this, the design project involved 10 different artists and dozens of different designs. And the final design for the Shrike was created by John Eves. This sketch established the basic direction, which was then finalized by Eves and Doug Drexler. Most impressive. Okay, and here's some other concepts they did of it. The earlier design was created by Harold Becker. He was the first artist to work on the Shrike. Okay, he produced several alternatives and put a lot of effort into developing this version of the ship. The idea was that the 6 blades or wings would focus energy from the portal weapon. So they did a pretty good job of that for the show, obviously. So here's some more work on the bottom they did. And it tells you Belker continued to work on the design, also produced this version, which was also partially inspired by the knife blast showed the artist. Okay, so definitely a lot of work was put into this. Look at that design there. Eves came up with this approach when Blast asked him to come up with something with tentacles inspired by an octopus. That would have been cool if they actually did that design there, even though I still favor the final design. Eves painted over renders of Drexler's model to show that the Shrike's portal weapon, what would it look like when it was activated. Alright, so there's your magazine. Okay, we'll put that off to the side. Alright, let's take this off. Alright. As with all the other ones we've done, we're going to get our hockey puck out. And if you're new to this channel, that's the reference I use when I do these reviews. Hey, I'm getting better at taking the tape off now. Alright. There's your stand, your piece that hooks in there. We'll snap that into place. There you go. Now we'll take the ship out carefully. And as with some of the ships, you get little pieces of styrofoam that are on it. We'll pull that off there. This is very dense, very solid. My God, look at all the detail on this baby. I'm not gonna lie, even for being scale model of the ship that he was using in the show, I'm not gonna suggest it, but this almost feels like it could use as a weapon. You didn't hear that from me. No suggestions there. I mean, I get this arachnid kind of feeling when I hold it and look it over. Very evil looking ship. I kind of get the vibe from the ship they use in Star Trek Nemesis by the Remus there. Forgot the name of that ship. I think the one that was used by the main protagonist in Star Trek Nemesis was actually bigger than this one. I'm wondering how it would have fared against this one. But this was a very advanced ship. Using the portal weapon in Star Trek Picard, it really screwed with the Titan there. But thankfully they had Riker to help them get through it. Here we can get up close. You can see it in the front a little bit better. Look at that paint scheme and how rich it looks right through here. Excuse the little bits of styrofoam on me here. But I appreciate Fan Home's integrity for taking their time packaging these. The only damage I've had so far was, I believe, was the first one, the first issue with the Titan. And one of the warp nacelles came off, which for now it's packed up, but when I take it back out to display, I'm going to fix it. But beautiful design overall. Very impressed. It almost gives like this antique vibe. Like it just has this very old vibe to it, like something futuristic, but that existed in the past, if that makes sense. I mean, obviously in Star Trek Picard, this ship dwarfed the Titan easily. I want to say it was what, maybe twice the size, almost 3 times the size of the Titan. But this easily could have taken out most of the fleet in Star Trek if Riker and the crew of the Titan had stopped it when they did, with their nice little slingshot maneuver there, whatever it was called, the Riker maneuver. For any of you who watched Picard Season 3, which was hands down one of the best Star Trek seasons I've ever watched in the history of Star Trek. So overall, very beautiful. I appreciate the work the designers put into this. Give this a thumbs up, by the way, if you're enjoying this video. And if you are new to this channel and not subscribed, please click the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos, as I do post often. But I do 1 issue per month for the Star Trek Starships collection, with this being issue 6. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. If you are subscribed to the Fan Home Star Trek Starships collection, let me know if you have been participating and if you have any of these and what you think so far of it. Alright, now we're going to hook this in here very carefully so we can put it on. We're going to pause real briefly so we can set this up a little better. Okay, so I changed the angle a little bit of the camera so we can get a better view of it. Still finding pieces of styrofoam on this ship. I haven't really tested out the warp nacelle lighting there. The light tubes is what they call them, I believe. But pretty much just reflects the light back. I'm not sure how to angle this properly to get the reflective glow look to it like I did with the other ones. I just don't want to tilt it too much, but that is beautiful. Whoa, see? So keep this in mind if you set this up. Make sure that you hold this carefully. All right, I think I got the rest of the styrofoam out of this, and I will suggest being careful in handling this too, because these tips look very fragile. So once you get this set up, you probably don't want to mess with it too much. You can definitely see some Aztec work going on in here. Being that I'm used to most of these ships being the Federation class, it's easier for me to go through the breakdown, but with this being such an alien looking ship, we're just going to go from the aesthetics and how it looks. But I just love the overall dagger. It just looks like it wants to stab everything it's going to fly in space through. I'm definitely going with Impulse engine down here, or their secondary hull, which looks really tiny compared to the rest of the ship. But I digress, as this ship looks very well portioned. Back end is just monstrous. I would not want to encounter this in space if I was an astronaut or flying for the Federation at all. So, scary looking ship. By far one of the most aggressive ships I've ever seen produced for Star Trek of any show or movie of that kind. So what do you guys think? On a scale of 1 to 10, would you give this a 1 as it being pathetic or 10 as being incredible? I'm definitely giving it a solid 9.5, just because the minus half a point is for how small the Impulse engine looks down there, or the deflector dish. But other than that, lots of arches going on here. You can see the archwork going on the sides. Now, I'm not sure where the exact engine is for the portal device they had. I'm assuming it's incorporated into these grids on the sides, and then they work together and produce like a circle portal effect, for lack of better words. So I am humbled to bring this to you tonight, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I will keep my eyes open to find out what the next ship will be for issue 7. See, issue 4, the Star Trek Enterprise F, was the last XL ship. So I believe it's after every 3 issues following, they do a large XL again. So this would be 6, so we should have one more small ship for issue 7, and I think issue 8 should be a large XL again. I'm still looking forward to seeing the Intrepid from Star Trek Picard, possibly the Borg ship used at the end of season 3, and hopefully, I believe, it's just a hunch, there's 20 issues in this collection, possibly doing the Enterprise D, the one that Geordi brought back for the season finale as issue 20. That's just a hunch, kind of hoping that's what they end up doing, or even halfway through the series, they bring it in, and so those are the 3 I'm looking forward to the most. Hopefully we get some updates soon, at least for the next issue. And if I can find one with a picture, I'll drop a teaser for a post so you guys can check it out. So, with that being said, thank you for tuning in and watching this video today. And as always, stay humble and true, my dudes. One to beam out. Dun, 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 dun.